Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, Charlie's Angels and guests. How's everyone doing today? Hey, Kitrol. Hey, Steve. Hey, Joy Monkey and Rod. Hey, Printer Prawn. Andrew, Tuxedo. How are folks doing? Hey, Nurgle. Hey, Dr. Dave. Little odd stream day, but I did promise a second January Charlie's Angels stream. I just decided to make it public because my channel, I get to make up the rules. Kind of like Who's Line, right? Points are made up, or the rules are made up and the points don't matter. David, you're in Prague. Awesome. Have fun. Prague is a fantastic city to visit. I very much enjoyed my one trip there. Oh, boy. Okay. We are going to make some progress on the Voron 2 Serial 0. This will be a somewhat shorter stream. Probably limit it to about 3 hours. Just to give myself enough time to do other things this weekend. And then we'll be back at it tomorrow. So anything I realize that I forgot today, I'll be prepping the rest of the day. And here we go. And then we'll be back at it, continuing it tomorrow. So let's get into it. So it's going to be a little bit of bouncing around, I think. Bouncing around. I think my goal today is to actually belt up the gantry. So I've got some new parts to help make that happen. The roughness I had in the gantry is basically gone. And I fixed it by loosening up the Z joint here and just kind of tweaking things, loosening and retightening things. I think what was happening is the Y rails here were being tweaked and causing the problem. I may continue to play with that a little bit, but it's kind of fiddly work that I can do offline. So, hey, Joey. And congrats, Joey. So, yeah, I decided I promised to do a second Charlie's Angel stream this month. I just decided to make it public because I didn't want to, I need to make progress on this printer and I didn't want anybody to miss out that wanted to watch the whole thing. So, I'm doing okay, David. I've been busy. I've been busy for sure. Can you post the specs of the Lazy Susie bearing, model number, diameter? It's a 22-inch bearing. I just got it off Amazon and I didn't pick anything special. I just bought a 22-inch bearing. And I did that only because it seemed like a good size. So, Tuxedo, if you remind me, I can send you the link to what I bought for sure. Just remind me between streams. Hey, Queasy Diver. Hey, Peter. Did you decide on the on-ROM? Yes. So I was chatting with Max, RCF, and he dug into his archive of things 2.1, and found a mount that was created so that the Omron can be used in this setup. The other thing he found is that they had added tabs to the, I don't know if you can see, they had added tabs to the Z idlers to support them because it was just this bolt and then the tensioning screw, and that's just wasn't enough. So they had added these tabs, but they had added it along with a bigger Z idler that did support 9mm belts. I've already committed to 6mm belts on Z on here, so I just took the existing one and added the tab myself. So now that's a between stream. It's a big between stream edition, as I swapped all these out, and all the belts are tension. I measured the amount of belt sticking out of the clamp here to make sure it's even all around, since I confirmed that all my belts were the same length. Should I get pizza even though I already had pizza this week? Well, that's the only answer to that question is yes. That's the only answer. You know, salad salad can be just as I don't want to say bad for you, but just the equivalent to pizza, depending on what kind of salad you have. I have a hand router. I used my Shapeoko to make the Lazy Susan top. I still need to put like an 1/8 inch round over on this and sand it and put a protective coating on it, because it is getting quite scuffed up and stuff. More so, I mean this wood started. My tabletop is the same wood. It just has polyurethane on it. So usually have green salad plain without any toppings. Well, that's not any fun. Okay, I also printed out the little Z covers and I started putting those on, so we can probably finish that off, and that will be a good thing. So let's grab some screws, work around Mr. Inspector here. I'm with you there, Cody. I am in the same boat. If you even think about knocking those off the bench, I am hearing that loud and clear. Hey, Ryan. Okay, so this is gonna go here. I'm back to running 5 times a week for the last 2.5 months. That's awesome. I used to run a lot, and in the very, very recent history, relatively, since I got out of the habit, and that was a terrible thing. Food is very hard to change. Yep. Same here. Oscar, you are a pest. Hey there, Ranch Kid. Funny. Okay. So all of those are on, which also means I'm going to go ahead and do, I want to put the slot covers in, and it could wait until the end of the build to do something like this. I don't know if these would be fine. Could wait until the end of the build, but as this thing sits around, it gets dusty. So let's work on getting some of these in here, because I think, at least for the front and sides, there's nothing we're going to be getting in the way of. So this is something to market. So I just make a little mark, and then put these in. And this will do a couple of things. This is going to hide some of the scars in the extrusions, and it's also going to make it a whole lot easier to clean. There we go. So a little extra that we're doing. We're doing the theme of this build, right, is trying to do lots of extra. M4D Mike, welcome. we're just making some guesses on where this needs to be cut. But I don't know if you can see, like there's a scar there on the inside of the extrusion. This will hide all that nicely. We are giving away a roll of Polymaker filament today, so be sure you enter for that. And be sure, yeah, like Mike says, hit that like button. Subscribe. Hey, Maurice. There we go. So that'll just make it easier for me to wipe everything off as I'm going as well. Oh. What are you doing? Yeah. Way nicer. I did not order any stickers yet. I have been so between my day job and this, I've been very, very distracted. I don't know what the effort would be though. I do think that it would be nice if there was a little de-aging. There we go. I'm going to buy more slot covers since open builds went out of business. Masumi sells if not the exact same thing, it's very, very similar. See, this is the level of dedication I have to this build. This is my own personal stash of slot covers. I'm contributing to the cause. Did you at least get the email correctly? What? Oh, yes, I did. Thank you. I did. Thank you. Okay. So those, I'm going to leave the ones off the back because I'm not exactly sure where I think I could probably do the side ones, but the center one may need a cable chain. Okay, it is treat time because that is what he is. Hey, Shadow Steve. Hey, Fleming. Wow, you are extremely aggressive today. You really wanted this. See what I can do about the DH. Thank you. I agree that it's a caricature. I agree it's a caricature, but it is awfully close. And it would be perfect if it looked about at least a few years younger. Okay. I've been messing around with electronics-based stuff, so the 5-volt power supply for the Pi is mounted to its bracket. The Pi bracket here. I did order because I wanted to go extra on this machine. Instead of using the one-piece power inlet that Max had on here, I bought the filtered inlet, so individual switch. And then DigiKey came back and said, oh, we don't actually have that in stock. It'll be however many weeks or months. So Mauser, We'll be delivering the power inlet part of this on Tuesday. And I did get the dual fused one. So it's fusing both lines. So to be as close to complying with electrical rules in various parts of the world. CJHMDM, what's a serial 0? So this is the development platform for Voron 2. Serial 0 is indicating that this is Max's RCF, the founder and creator of this design. This is his original Voron 2. Mauser, whatever. So Max donated this to be raffled off for Sanjay Mortimer Foundation. The link to the raffle tickets is in the description. We're over $4,000 in tickets sold. That's fantastic for a good cause. So if you want a chance to win this exact printer, you do not have to be present to win, and it will be shipped to you anywhere by SMF. So link is in the description for that. But Max donated this to the cause, and I volunteered to rebuild it. So my Mercury 1 build stole all my money, though. I love my Mercury 1, CJ. I am I need to finish getting it reset up with the PZ probe, but I have always really liked my Mercury 1. Okay, so those are on. Talked about this, talking about electronics. The other thing I did on the electronics, what else did I do up here? I think I did the Z idlers, got the belts tensioned, at least initial tension, and then I was messing around with the electronics bay. We can probably do a little bit more of that. So this is the electronics bay. And the other thing I did is I ended up buying the RSP version of the power supply instead of the LRS. There's two things that we get for going with the RSP power supply. Is I get auto voltage sensing, so I don't have to flip a switch for 110 or 220, and it also has the PFC feature. Hey, bearded printer. See stream chat. Way better. I feel like there's even more brown in my hair than I actually have, but I like that a whole lot better, Maurice. Thank you. Way better. Anybody here? Let me open in browser. Anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, Maurice on the last stream created a graphic, a fun graphic. Ooh, it's big. I have to miss this one. Gone biking. See you, another CG. Thanks for stopping in to say hi, though. Hit like on your way out. So that is nice. With my Mercury one is Pi 4 stability, so I ended up getting an N100 Nook for it. Wow. Could be the front of a comic book. Yep. Okay, so this is the Taco Raven controller we're using. This is a board that never hit actual production. Only 20 of them is what I heard or so were made. Max RCF donated this to the build. I also have one. I won it in the auction at the first Smurf. So if for some reason this one doesn't work, then at least I have a spare. The RSP power supply, I needed to change, I need to change out the mounts, because in this iteration of the printer, the SSR bolts to the side of the power supply to share the heat sinking, and it doesn't fit because the power supply sits a little too low, and then I need to put it over here. So I've drilled some extra holes in the deck to move the to change up what I can do for the mounting points. So that's going there, and then the pie is going to have to go over here, and the power supply is going to have to go in here. And then I need to find a spot because I'm going to use some Wagos to manage the things. So these will probably go somewhere along here as well. Not exactly sure. It is getting a little cramped and tight. It might be that I may change this up to VHB the Wagos to the deck, maybe something like that, or maybe off to the side. I don't know. Build area is pretty sweet. Thanks, CJ. My garage is far too cold though. Yeah, I'm lucky I have heating and air in here because it gets cold and hot. Now I did notice that this didn't fit super well on the front. I want to see how well this is going to fit back here. Ooh. Yeah, just barely. That is a tight fit, but it does. Okay, these wires are really, really irritating. I just haven't had a chance to cut them short and put connectors on. Okay, yeah, there we go. Sent you an email with high quality. Oh, awesome, thank you. What's the mini PSU for? This is for the Pi, to power the Pi. I don't think this has a 5-volt output of sufficient quality. I'll remain a member, but I'll be staying away from the streams indefinitely. My orange cat Rusty was sadly put to sleep on Friday. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lucas. That's very sad. My condolences. I know how it feels. Okay. Hey, Bob. Does that board run Clipper? It was designed for Clipper. It was designed for Clipper. And hey, Neil. I don't think I need my front tape, my label that this is the front of the printer anymore. So let's go ahead and take this off. There we go. I am going to go ahead and cut all of these because I know I want to do connectors on these just for serviceability and flexibility. So let's go ahead and is there a GitHub page that I can read up on that board? There is, but it's not fully fleshed out in terms of documentation. If you go to the Voron hardware GitHub, I'm pretty sure it's there. I'm gonna go, let's go 60 millimeters of, about 60 millimeters of wire here. There we go. We'll keep that consistent all the way around. a lot easier, a lot less frustrating to move this thing around. And worse than starting a 3-hour print for 2020 slot, only to realize to print new belt tensioner plates. Oops. Okay. Let's move these off of here. Okay, that'll be a whole lot nicer to move this thing around. Not having to worry about those flopping around. Okay, that can go there. That's there. I'll do that in between. I'll do that this afternoon or something. Get connectors crimped on there. And I need to get a bunch of my little things on there. Let's try to do the gantry stuff. So what else can I talk about under here? I think that's it. There's a display that's going to go here. Bill is donating an original rep wrap display that he has to the cause because I can't find mine. I know I have one. I just have no idea where it is. Oops. Well, that was annoying. Yeah. Actually pop the... I didn't realize the power supply was still under there. Let's pull this thing off and get this. It just tweaked the case, just popped the case a little bit because these are just snapped on the outside, so that's fine. It's not permanently damaged. And if I run completely out of room, I might use a good quality buck converter under there instead for the pie. Excuse me. Didn't have time to fully mute for that. Okay. Let's see. We have carriage stuff. So let's talk about this. This is... So this is kind of test fitting, but you can see in there an adapter for the Omron probe. Pull this out. I was just test fitting things. So we have a way of mounting this now. It even has a hole so you can see the indicator light. Hey, Balint. Hey, Andy. Who else? Did I miss anyone else? I'm just finishing switchwire build back in 2024. You built an orange one. Do you have the setup file for the ADXL mount? If I didn't put that out on my GitHub, then I may have put it in the files and stuff area on Discord. Try the files and stuff channel on Discord if it's not on my GitHub. Okay, let's pull this thing out because Max also helped. Berlin, thanks for the gift of memberships. Helped by making some mounts because I've decided to simplify the build. Instead of trying to use zip chains or belt chains, we're just going to throw real cable chains on here. Okay, so then a modified carriage was made, and Max, I think, got caught up in, where did that go? In the idea that heat sets are a thing, and made the cable chain mount with heat sets. So this will get some heat sets on it. I never see Felix anymore. Our gremlins are in full chaos mode today. Well, we do see Felix. You just haven't been here when Felix has graced us with his presence. Felix does come in here sometimes. But Felix is in full, if you want me to do it, I don't want to do it, teenager mode. Okay, so I'm going to throw some heat sets in here before we put this together. Felix is a full-on teenager. Hamster poop is better than most poops. Hamster poop is nice and contained and pelletized. Pre-pelletized. Okay. Let's get these on here. I'm feeling a little dirty putting heat sets on this printer. I feel like even just directly threading into plastic would be more on brand for the era. If you make too many updates to this build, you're going to have to actually release it. Well, fortunately, it's been not had to be all me. Max has helped with some of the tweaks. It's inside the couch at the moment, of course. You found it? Awesome. Was it on Discord or in GitHub? Hey, Laura. Wade Hunt, thanks for becoming a member. Okay, that is that. We need to pull some of this apart because we're replacing this side to get rid of this little tray that I guess will get in the way of cable chain by a little bit. So let's go ahead and pull the belt. Curious how difficult this thing is going to be to belt. Voron team is planning a stealth burner replacement. They didn't know what to answer. Is there a Voron team these days? Of course there is. And we're always working on stuff. I know we haven't released anything in a while. Cascade and Phoenix are pending. But I'll just say that we're always working on stuff. I will say that I've had a lot of fun over the last few months, making significant progress on Trident, and that's the only project I can really speak directly to. Hey, Dominic, thank you. Hey, Keith. I can't speak to that, JB. Okay, so this side is being replaced with these, which means pull this nut out of here. Let's see if I can get that. Yep, there we go. That little embedded nut is gone. Can go away. Put it in here. Who has Trident 0? So there is technically no Trident 0. When I was doing Trident, I made the decision, I'm not sure if it was the right one, but I made the decision to continue the Voron 1 serial series. So Voron 1 was at 209 when I got my development Trident printing. So I ended up with 210. So, or actually I was a little earlier. I wanted 210, so I waited for 210, I think. A very short bit of time. So the first Trident serialized was serial 210. However, an interesting twist there is if you had a Voron 1 with a lower serial number than that and updated it to a Trident, you would technically have a lower serial number than me on the scale. And then Legacy, although it is inspired by the Voron 1, it's a different printer. It's a reimagining of the original Voron with modern, at the time when it was released, modern parts. Ram Online, welcome. DJ, welcome. So I guess in a way, Voron 1 in front of you is Trident 0 with a long legacy. Well, this isn't Voron 1. This is Voron 2 serial 0. So it's different. My Trident is perfect. I don't want to improve it. Well, you'll see what comes. There are goals with the change. My goals. Andrew, welcome. Andy, thanks for the gifted memberships. Okay, let's get this. Hi. He has been very vocal lately. Okay, so now that, go in here, thread in, and then pull in, and hopefully that stays in place. And we can put this back. Still like the steady bed moving gantry design. Yep. We're to build a 2.2 now. There's some part of me that if I was doing this again, I might consider doing a 2.2 just because of the incremental improvements. And then if you follow that along, why not just do a 2.4? So I don't regret doing a 2.1, but I think it's going to look amazing when it's done. It's just all the little things that you don't think about when you make a plan. Okay, so now that's a cable chain version of the mount. And then I noticed last time that this was quite tight on the getting it on the carriage, and you can kind of see the rub marks there. I'm gonna touch this with my file. Just get a little bit. Just basically take down the texture. It's real small bit there. On both sides. And we'll just make this nice and flat. There we go. And then I will do some degree of not making this airborne by using a towel to wipe it off instead of blowing on it. Does you upgrade a 24-inch cube Trident? No. You don't know me very well. You don't know me very well, Brent. If anything, let's make it a 120 build. Well, wait, there's a solid fork already. Okay, so let's see if that helped. Oh yeah, That goes right on now. It was quite tight before. Okay. I don't think I need those on at the moment. Kind of frustrating, I think. Have them on. So those are there. That's there. Let's look at the documentation. Okay. So we did all this. Those go in. Oh, I see what it's saying. So it was. And then those seat the nuts. And then that's there. And then the there is a little bit. So I think this is going to be most reliable if I get rid of any of that play. So, and I think to do that, I'm gonna put a tiny drop of CA glue in the corners here and hold that in place. Just to take up any little gap of, even if it doesn't actually stick, it'll hold that there, and just tiny little bit. I think it's worth it. What's up, buddy? I think it'll be worth it for probe reliability. You don't want the probe to move at all. And this little printed adapter is not as nice as screwing it directly. So just two little things of glue there. Not even a lot. Just hold that there for a bit. Should know not to take my comment. Likewise, Brent. Likewise. Trent was my first build. I've been making many upgrades to it just for fun. It printed very well stocked, but I was bored. Excited to see your changes, and we'll build another with them. Awesome. I have no promises of release date. I have no promises of release date. I will just say that I've been having fun playing around with the design. I would expect, my goal is to produce a better foundation for the community. So that's my goal, to what I think is a better improvements to working towards making it a better foundation. How old is Oscar today? Oscar today is, well, he's a little over 18 months old. They'll be 2 on June 12th. Their birthday, Oscar and Felix, were from the same litter. They'll be 2 on June 12th. CJ, that's not good. That's not a good square if that's the case. They're little teenagers, little turd teenagers, huh? There is some influence there, not just on Index, but on tool changers in general. There's some influence there. Shadow Steve. I'm just holding this in place for a minute. Okay, so this goes in here. It is a tight fit, but it will fit. Now the question is which set of holes, because there's holes there and holes there. I suspect maybe these holes, but I could be wrong. So we're gonna test that by mocking up the tool head into here. glad we're not the only ones to call our cats turds. Oh yes, they are absolute. That is putting it very politely. Go back to an old plastic one. Frame is at least mostly square, and now to buy a new engineering square. Okay, so this is the groove mount setup. This goes on here, just like this. It's probably going to point forward to keep the heater block away from the probe. Gold. Yep. So if anybody wasn't here, this is probably the most Gucci V6 ever put together. And this is coming with this printer. So this is a gold anodized heatsink from E3D. Now E3D donated most of this hot end to the cause. It has a titanium heat break, a plated copper heater block, and it will come with two unreleased, as yet unreleased, I don't think you can buy them yet, Diamondback high temp nozzles. So technically, this printer would be able to print up to 500C. I think that's right. It's not practical, but technically the parts I think will support it. But it's coming with two of these nozzles, a 0.6 and a 0.4. So you've got, with both nozzles, you've got nearly $300 in hot end here. Like I said, the most Gucci V6 assembly ever. I agree on the silicone sock here. I have taken like a single strand of wire and wrapped around and twisted to hold it on previous builds. But okay, what the whole goal of this is to get this in here and on here and hold this in place and put it on here, and notice that it is way too low. So that is probably for a volcano setup. So that informs us that we want to go to the next notch. And then the real question is, I'm worried. So I'm worried on that because this Omron probe has a 5mm sense distance. And that's going to be right at 5mm. So it may be, I have the CAD for this. I may move those notches, just get rid of one and just move the notch where I think it needs to be to actually be like 3mm above the nozzle. I think it's too close right now. We're going to continue with the build and I'll swap that out later. It shouldn't be too difficult to do the swap. And fortunately, I only put a tiny bit of CA glue on there, so I'll be able to break that off and should be just fine. If not, I have a bunch of these Omron probes. Okay, so that goes in there. I think I want to move this down probably at least 2 or 3mm. Here, let's do that. Let's just do that. Here. While I'm here. High temp Diamondback, both very cool and a tremendously interesting choice for this kind of printer. It is. It is. It's not super practical, but it is very cool. There is no difference between it's aesthetic, Andy. Give me a panic moment of, have I got to go to work tomorrow? I get it, Steve. I get it. Okay, So here's the CAD for this, but here's the CAD for the Omron holder. I really think this was between 5 and 6 millimeters above the tip of the nozzle. I think a 3 millimeter adjustment is probably a good, safe amount. It's gold anodized. I have been mixing up that term, Tuxedo. You're absolutely right. I have been saying anodized, usually after I say plated. If you go back and watch, you'll see me do that, but I think I've been pretty good about correcting myself to anodized. It is not plated. Thanks, Merlin. Appreciate that. Okay, so we're just going to do a little direct modeling hacking on this and simply, hopefully, just delete all these surfaces. Oh boy, that's going to be interesting. Let's go ahead and just delete this. Let's see if that will delete. Nope. Okay, so I missed something. Here, let's do a delete that, and delete that. There we go. Step through it instead of... Which Voron 2 kit is this? It's not a kit. This is a rebuild of Max's original development Voron 2. Hey, what, Jackie? Hey, Edward. Okay, so we're just going to, like I said, we're just going to hack this away, deleting bits. I delete that, it should. Nope, okay. So I think before, I gotta just... There's probably... Oh, geez. I'm going to do this a little smarter. Delete that. And the order you delete can make all the differences. But since they modeled in threads here, we're going to do a quick just project that. And I created a sketch. I'm projecting these surfaces. Say okay. Then we're going to draw a line here. And if I take this projected line and hit X, turn it into a construction line, now that's an entire surface I can grab. Draw a line here. And this is just hacking away at existing files. I'm not really too concerned about clean CAD here. Let's just extrude that to here. Come on. And join. There was a problem combining geometry. Why? Hey, Andres. Why is that? Why? Fusion is being finicky. Finicky fusion. My keyboard is far too far away from me to be effective here. Now I've put it in prime Oscar stepping. Well, I'm just trying to, here, let's do, let's change this distance. What is going on? Okay, cancel. What is going on? I've got surfaces here. Here, let's let's offset this by 0.4 millimeters. Sure. And let's do a quick line from here to here. I've got my keyboard shortcuts are funky when I'm not sitting comfortable at a desk. And then let's turn that into a construction line. Whatever. There and there. We want to extrude that. There we go. Okay. So we'll just go outside of the... So I did that offset of the sketch just to grab more meat. Sometimes that will clear up something like this, and it looks like it has. We're going to join that. So we say, okay. We can go back to this sketch and do the same thing over here. This is hacky, but I just wanted, oops. Offset that. Minus 0.4. There. Finish the sketch and extrude. Send this to an object. Come on. Why? Extrude that, and that. Can I do? Nope. As soon as it gets to a certain point, it fails. I have no idea. Fusion being fusion. Yeah. As soon as I get a certain distance in here, it blows up. Okay. What I was trying to prevent having to do is select all these faces. Because this can be tedious. Maybe cut the whole thing in half and mirror it since the left side seems in better shape. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to locate that view hole, which isn't a big deal. Wow, there's a lot of threads. I'm already down this path. I'm gonna see it through. Are we done? Almost. The only problem with something like this is one misclick and you're starting over. Now we make sure that we've caught all the surfaces. Because if we miss any of these, it will error out. Okay. I think I got them all. Delete. Woohoo! Okay. So, we can fix this chamfer. Is this a 0.4 chamfer? Yes, it is. Fusion does do a good job usually of fixing things like that. Looks like there's a little bit of weird, weird geometry anyway. Hey, Webb. Okay, so I don't want to repeat all of that for these. I want to move these up 3 millimeters. That means effectively, here, let's try a few things. Let's move this. Let's move this first. And we can change our, right now it's a little funky. We can change this to translate via design coordinates. And we can go 3 millimeters here. Is that what I want? That's effectively going to, does that effectively move that the right way? I'm gonna move this up while this stays down. So I think I actually want to move this down 3 millimeters. -3. And then here, let's get the probe. What's this? Okay. Let's move this. I think it'll be easier to move everything around those stupid threads than the threads themselves. Move those faces. -3. No! Okay, so we will simplify. Simplify the geometry. Simplify and rebuild. Extrude that 3 millimeters. There we go. See, this old CAD is ew. It makes me not very happy. Hacky CAD. Oops, I moved it. Do you see that? There's a feature, a new checkbox in Fusion that will ignore those kind of little mouse moves. Move this. -3. There we go. Is that what I want? Does that do what I want? Yeah, I think so. And then let's split the body here, since I'm not even going to try to move all of that. And oops. Let's, I don't know why that's there. Delete that. And then extrude this -3. Oh man. This cat is so ugly. This is so ugly. I should have just remodeled this. Max, this is awful. This is awful. Let's move this. I'm channeling my inner Max and direct modeling and direct modeling on old CAD. It is awful. Okay, let's what were these fillets here? What size were these? 1 millimeter. Okay, so let's fillet this and this and this and this at 1 millimeter, because that's what it was before. And then let's fix the chamfers. 0.4. There we are. And there. And there. And then we merge the two bodies. Features, okay, whatever. Okay. Now, did I do it right? Did I do it right? Let's take that, the whole probe. That can move. -3. So that should have moved the whole thing down. Let's do a quick save as. Three millimeter offset, sure. Then let's throw this guy in the thing and see if it, where are you? See if it looks right. That look right? Look like I did it right? Think so? Anyway. That was hacky. I understand. That was very hacky. Let's just get rid of that. And let's get this thing and save that. So I can print it after stream. Second hole is for volcano, I'm assuming. Max, I'm assuming the second hole was for volcano. Projects. Voron 2. C probe retainer. Let's save that. Okay, save that. So I will print that and try it, but we can continue with what we have right now. I feel a little dirty. Direct modeling there was awful. Okay, so here, Max, this works well, fits in the spot, but if we grab the tool head and kind of test fit, that's more than 5 millimeters offset. And since Omron probes are 5 millimeters, I don't know if you can see, but that's probably like 6 millimeters offset. I figure if I move this 3 millimeters, I'll be within a range that'll work. So remember, most of the most common, the easiest to obtain, the less expensive solution here was the PL08, which is a 8 millimeter sense distance, and the Omrons are 5. So that's okay. I will print that. But the other stuff, other bits of this, I was a little disappointed, Max, that you didn't put hex nuts in here. Heat sets are a little off-brand for this build. Heat sets are a little off-brand for the build. It did work. It's just using heat sets. I feel a little weird about that. Okay, we gotta belt this thing. Somehow, with a little guy here who has no idea what he wants. Oh, okay, that. Go back over here. Okay, so that's the probe in there. You can fix that if you want. Nah, it's okay. He already got treats. I'm not gonna put the hood on yet. It needs to be belted. Doesn't actually, oh, then you put this on here. I think it'll just get in the way. Let's belt it now. Okay, what size are the screws that hold this thing in? 3x16. 3x16. Yep, that looks right. Barely. There's going to be a V2.1 R2 release, so whoever wins this has files for repair print. I will share every mod I made. Or Max made. Oh, shit. What was I after? 3x16. But that's not a bad point there. Dude. 3x16s. Oh no, we're not doing, we're doing, this is either going to be belt chains, zip chains, or real chains. And it looks like we're going to do commercial chains. Okay, so the tool head is on. Now we got to figure out belts. Means I have to belt this twice because I need a length. And I have never belted a 2.2. Okay. Let's go here. And then this will go through here and through here. And then back through here. There we go. See this pulley here is just there to set the offset, which, dude, that's not food. Here. Okay, let me put this away. You are a pest. Is it like 2.4 is in place where there can't be upgraded much? Oh, there's always tweaks. Okay, let me see here. I think this guy goes all the way back and then in. This is this is not a fun. Can't really see anything to get to it. There we go. I turned the pulley to use the teeth to pull the thing in. Yeah, the belting has gotten a whole lot better on the new builds. Done with the weekend chore, now it's back to the build. Awesome. I don't really have anywhere that I can see. Aha, I can use this. There we go. Wow. It's tight in there. It is tight in there. Lazy Susan for the win. not a great way to get this to make that corner. There we go. Okay. It's fiddly. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go back demoing my closet while I listen to you complain about my past decisions. It just, all it does is shows how much we appreciate the new designs, the updated designs. Okay, so trying to figure out how much belt I want, and that's probably good right there. If I cut that right there, I will have enough to do both sides and have some left over. Okay, all that work about to be undone. Yep, this is a good example of showing the evolution of the designs. Okay, so now get on the table here. You know, technically, Voron 3 is Phoenix. Technically, Voron 3 is Phoenix. So. Is that? Yeah, I said that, not seeing what Max had typed. Okay, now I am super paranoid about belt lengths being the same length, because I have run into too many of my old builds that I thought were correct and were a tooth off. So that's why I do this now. Make sure one of the belts is upside down when you install it. No. There we go. I was pretty good. This is a pretty good estimate of how much belt I would need. That's all that's left of a single length for this whole printer. That's almost uncomfortably tight. That is almost uncomfortably tight. So double check. Yep, okay. Exactly the same length. Okay. We'll just do the same thing. One extra tooth is still long enough. That's That's true. I'm sending to only if you're in Australia. Go. Any recommendations on a good Voron kit? The only kits I have real experience with are the LDO. For any kit you're looking at, just be sure you you know what it's coming with. I mean, even LDO, they change their kits over time. Hey, Joel. I think LDO's on Rev D. Their intent is to improve it over time with each revision. But sometimes it's a matter of parts availability. Go. Okay, practice makes perfect. There we go. Okay, one belt is ran. Phoenix coming in different sizes? No. I mean, you're welcome to build your Phoenix once it's released. There is a beta build that's not the same size as the reference. Make it better, but it turned out as per usual. Okay, so that's one belt in place. Is that a printed floor panel? No, this is ABS sheet as it comes here in the US. 3mm ABS sheet. This is just typical. This is, I don't know what size they stopped doing this texture. I know at least the 1/4 inch or 6mm sheet still has this texture. I don't know at what point they stop doing the texture on it here. But I'm pretty sure I've heard that that's regional as far as different parts of the world. Getting through the front here was a whole lot easier than I thought. Than I assumed it would be. Oh, come on. There we go. You bunching up. There we are. There we go. Sweet. Get the little tricks down. Seems empty after the rush last stream. Well, 2 streams ago now. This is actually part 3. I messed up on the title. I fixed it. I don't know where if the fix has made it through all the places though. This is going to be interesting with this other belt already here. Maybe I can move this up out of the way and get this down. Not a lot of space. There it is. Belts and the extrusion slot. This is one of the most frustrating parts for me of a build, is having the belt get twisted and pulled into the extrusion slots. Okay. There we go. Voron Street is capable of building a Voron in just 5 minutes. He just slows down on purpose so we can understand what's going on. Opening the Steve Builds Museum to printer building so we can all come visit. Okay. Let's see here. Let's put this. So it's interesting. The offset on the belts is different per side. So this is going to come in here, and then we need a piece here, a screw in here. Hey, Liz. Getting this lined up. There we go. Get the belt clamp. First exhibit, the hot glue gun. Have I used a hot glue gun even once on this channel? I don't think I have. Okay, same number of teeth sticking out here on this side, and this is clamped in place. Think you'll ever build one of the Corvus PC cases? Is that the one that Mandic made? I don't know. Okay, let's pull the belt. That one's pulled. That one's pulled. Make sure we're aligned on all the spots, and we are. We can pull this out of the way right now. What toolhead does 2.1 get? Its own Bowden toolhead. It is Bowden. Oh yeah, interesting. Okay, so now those go there. Pull these forward. I know I'm in the way here. This guy goes up in here. And this goes on there. Do you mind if Lazy Susan was 3 centimeters higher. I would. I don't want things. I've got like just a few millimeters of gap there. An M3 screw won't slide underneath it. I didn't want a screw to be able to go under. Even it's less than 3 millimeters, because even the threaded part of the screw won't go under there. Okay, it is belted. We'll get a little closer look here in a second. Make sure we are riding in the right spot on all the bearings. Appears that we are. That is a correct amount there. I think I want to pull one more. I'm going to pull it from this other side. I pulled 2 teeth, a little tighter. That is all the same lengths. So that should be, there we go. Okay, interesting. Let's get a little closer view with this camera, which probably needs to be reset. So switch over to it. Oh, nope. So an interesting fact is the belts are offset. And that's for alignment with the various pieces over here. Was the textured panel part of this machine, or is that new? This was possible part of the machine. It is a new panel, MN laser cutter. Nemgria, Icarus, Voron Zero Designer, Extraordinaire cut those for me for this build, but this was available at the time of the build. Hey, Ella. Anyway, that is it is belted. It is a nice texture. I prefer these ABS panels to ACM. I don't really like ACM panels. Total height, the bottom would still be close to the bench surface. I don't know. I kind of like it being as low as possible here, Tuxedo, especially because my camera here, once printers start getting too high, it starts getting hard to read chat and stuff. When we were doing car audio stuff back in the 90s. Yeah, you can heat them up and form them. There you go. Okay, so tensioning. Tensioning is done via 2 screws that push against the M5 screw here. Oh, you're thinking in terms of locking mechanism ideas. Got it. Okay, so we want to make sure that these are not tight. And then I had already made sure that we were not racked. So I'm going to go just until it touches. And then we'll go turn each. And then we'll do it again. both sides. It's feeling pretty good. Touching the same time there. A little off there, so let's tighten this one just a hair. Voron panels are quite hard to find in ABS or PC here in Europe. There we go. Feeling pretty good about that. I can't super easily get a PF makes gauge in there. Let's see. It might impact because the this gap here, because the idler here pushes the belt over, there's not a lot of room to get the gauge in there. Let's see if it'll go in. Somebody already got treats. I guess that'll work. We're at about 2.35, 2.3. $2.35, 2.3, 2.3. Looks good. Well, PC, you don't want to laser cut. So you need to machine PC, right? Am I correct there? You can laser cut acrylic, but you should machine polycarbonate. Yeah, this is... So then what we want to make sure we can see it anywhere is that the... Let's see. Where'd my glasses go? There they are. Nope. Okay, so that needs to go up on that pulley. And that one needs to go down a little bit. So this one needs to go down, this one needs to go up. Can I get to that? Yeah, I can get to it right through there. So let's see. This one needs to go up a bit, so grab the... I think I had only tightened, nope, I guess I tightened both sides of that. Why won't that move? Is that, oh, that's fixed. I can't actually change that. It's not perfect, but it's not off. I don't think I can change that without changing the spacers. I think the spacers are fixing that in place. So I don't think I can actually change that. So it is what it is. Okay. I would just like it to be a little more centered on the pulley, but I'll just tighten these up. Make sure they're tight anyway. Okay, it's belted. And then we have enough room here. I think we can tuck the excess belt out of the way. Hopefully. Let's see if this goes on there okay. Yeah, there's room there. Just barely. Goes on there like that. Okay, 11:41. We're gonna give away a roll of Polymaker filament in an hour and 20 minutes. What else can we get done here? Let's start working on some of the bed stuff. So I did use a Wago mount, an adapted one from the from what I made for various things recently. I am going to use a little PCB thermistor. I want this to be easy to take off and put back on. The thermistor plugs the little 2-pin, let me see if I can find those. A little PCB plug. Where did I put those? Where did I put those? Is equipped to laser PC with proper filters and fire safety. Okay. Where are my little 2-pin fan PCBs? Let me see if they're in this other stack of bins. Where did those go? I got lots of bins to clean up. Shoot. Switch wire belt, not standard dimensions. I'm not going to cut my own with a laser. I have to order the clear custom cut though. Yeah. Okay, they've got to be in here. It's just a bit of a mess to find. It's the 3-pin ones. I need better organization of my miscellaneous electronics boards. In here, we'll find it here shortly. Those up later. Jeez, I'm getting deep into the bin. Where in the world are they? See a few things in here that don't belong in this bin anyway. Well, shoot. They're not in there. Okay. I don't know where they are. Where? That's weird. I had a stack of them. Okay, well, we just continue on. I will find them later. All it is to connect the thermistor. Okay. So this is, I have a 3 2 position Wagos and 1 3 position. And this is for this dual voltage heater. So we have one for ground, one for neutral, one for a placeholder, and one for the live wires. So the way the heater works, you look at do this. So this is, it's got documentation here on the bottom. So if you are running it in 120 volt spec, you run both white wires into a Wago, and there is an integrated thermal fuse here. So into a Wago and then to live. If it is a 240 volt, then you run one that is just like no outlet. It's just a way to take one of the red wire. It looks like the red wire to off to the side, and then what do we got here? Neutral. Okay, yeah, so that's live, neutral. Yep, that makes sense. So the extra, so in a 240 volt setup, the red wire will go into this one and not any other connection. One of the white wires will go here and another white wire will go here, or something along there. And I need to make some sort of markings and probably some pictures to document this for people. Does that make sense? So if it's 120 volts, then both white wires are going here, and then the other side is going to the SSR, and then the red wire is going to the next one, and then going to neutral, and then a ground wire. Yeah. So just following the diagrams on the bottom. Now, there is a problem with the diagrams, either the silk screen or something, because this says 120 volts AC here, and this says 240 volts AC here. But both of them up here say 120. So I don't know if that one should have said 240, but going by the outlets, this is the 240 diagram, this is the 120. And there is a A1, A2, and B is white, white, and red. And then there is a JST, and that would plug in here. Now I'm going to shorten all of this, but I think the idea is I'm going to wire this both ways, and I'm going to take a picture of this to provide as documentation. So for us here, we'll hook it up. We'll be able to test this in both configurations. I could hook it up to 220. I have a 220 plug. But when it's in Manchester, it'll have to be on 240. Okay, so let's put this off to the side again and get this guy installed. So this guy's going to go in here. So this is just M3s. I think this would work fine on American 220 from a breaker, but for European, I don't know how that'd behave. We go up to 240, yeah, but not sure. It's supposed to work. UK has a ring circuit. European, both live and neutral, are technically all live. And I did buy the dual fused power inlet, so it will be able to be properly fused on both legs of the circuit, which is, I know, a thing for safety. Oh, shoot. Okay. So I need a better idea of where this needs to go, because there is a hole through the extrusion here on both of them. There's a hole here. I don't know why, but the bed extrusions had holes in them. I don't know if Max has any explanation, but I need to figure out where that needs to go, because I can't just slide these T-nuts through there. So that goes there, and this thread this in. We'll figure out where the bed is going. This may be before we turn the bed 90. Could be. What is the other? Oh, so Oscar apparently sat on the space bar. I'm at the very end of the document. So let's go back up. Back to the what was the hot end? Fastener sides. And 3x16 going from the front. Okay. Just need to get something held together here. You get that diagram photoed in your Discord. You can ask my partner's brother. He's an electrician. I don't know if I want the answer, Ella. I don't know if I actually want the answer. Especially if it means it keeps us from doing the build. I don't want the electrician's answer. Let's put it that way. Sometimes you don't ask. Okay, we are setting this on here. mostly to get an idea of where the bed needs to set when the tool head 2.0 was side to side. Yep. I'm pretty sure this is front to back, according to the CAD. I'm pulling these bumpers off. Stops. You know, we do a lot of things in the rep wrap hobby, utilizing things that technically work but may not be, or work but may not be technically correct, right? We do a lot of that. We use things that weren't meant to be used for whatever purpose, right? Okay, so that is very close to where the bed is going to sit. Just looking at where the furthest forward unpleasant answers. I'm just going to temporarily set this guy in here as a marker of where the back of the bed is. So that's just a marker. Now I can move this up out of the way. And that can help inform us where to put this guy. I just want it to be just underneath the thing, and that looks like I did a good job of guesstimating where that should be. Maybe we'll put it, I guess right there is where I'm going to put it. This hole in the extrusion is right there. It's either I go to that side. Yeah, I think I want it to be as far back as possible. It'd be easier, so I'll put it right on this side of the hole. Hey, there's a Felix. I hear a Felix. I don't know if he's gonna end up in here. Hi, Felix. I don't know if he'll end up in here or not. Hey, come on up. Oscar's up. Oscar's ready. Nope. Felix is just not into it. M4 thumb nuts is precision bed spacers. It works. It's fine. It works. It's fine. So I'm not going spec. I'm not going spec for the bed mounting for this. Do you want to know what spec is? Scroll down. Spec is driving a screw into the extrusion and then using a using a nut to see that. This is spec. This is awful. That's why I'm going to just use the M4 standoffs. We're not using a pressure, a whatever, I don't remember what you call that. Okay. Put this guy in here. I can put that PCB on there when we are ready. Force sensitive resistor. Thank you. Okay, so that's going to go there. And then, so this is the manual parts for the Z endstop. Oh, it says right there FSR. But the included, oh shoot, the printed parts are actually for the more modern. The printed parts in the repository are for the more modern setup. So with a deflanged pulley in there. Let's see if I have one that's pre-deflanged. I should. I think I've got to figure out what bin they're in. Because LDO was including these pre-deflanged, and I haven't used any of them in the kit in a while. There's one. Just looking through for. I'd really like to know where those things went. Okay. So this is going to go all the way down in there. Does that actually... Huh. So does that not actually press in on this one? Because there's a micro switch that screws in there, and then a pin that goes in. But that's a loose fit in there. Do you know what's going on there, Max? What I'm missing? Am I missing anything? That should just press in there, but that is far from a press fit. I might need to tweak this part. No, it's not. I don't think. It's not even modeled in. I think it's a different design. I bet you if we look at the CAD, let's look at the CAD for that thing. It may not. Oh, it's the FSR in CAD, but if you go to here, let's go here. Did you see that, Max? Did you see this? Voron to GitHub. If we go here and go to 2.1, go to STLs and Voron 2.1 and Z endstop. This is the one that's in the files. Is this one, not the FSR one. So if let's just use, there's one in stream chat related to that one. Oh. That's hilarious. Oh. That taco ribbon board, did that ever go into fabrication? Not mass fabrication. Is the guy letting the smoke out? That might be a 2.2 part. It's in the 2.1 files. See, it's right there. But what we're gonna do, just because this is nice and quick for measuring an STL, is we're gonna go open that thing. Z endstop and open it and measure that. Has a 12.8 millimeter diameter. 12.8 millimeter diameter. Backported it, yeah. And this is 12.2. So it's not a printed part thing. Hey, Keith. You saw that stream? Yeah. That was fun. It was entertaining anyway. Okay, that is far too large. Either I need to modify the part. Let's look at... Let's go back. And go to 2.2. Go to the STLs. I am borrowing some parts from 2.2 for this. There are a couple of things like the Z covers. These I grabbed out of 2.2. So if we go back here and go to the Z endstop, is it the same? Let's download this guy. Let's see if that changed. Z micro switch. Here we go. Oh, come on. That does not appear to have changed. This is the... Which one did I just download? Rev 1, okay. $12.8, so it didn't change. Hey, Jared. Good to have for the 2.4. Yeah, and hi, Mr. Excuse. Okay, Max is saying check the 2.2 manual. So let's go to Voron 2. Manuals, and let's download the 2.2 manual. You're measuring the OG again? Oh yeah, I am. Thank you. Still 12.8. It didn't change. That didn't change. Here, let's download this so I don't have to. Come on. I click download, right? There we are. Just save it here. And open it. So page 88. You lied to me. This is page 90, 89. You did say page 88, right? 81. Remove set screws, press fit for proper registration. It's not a press fit. This is a standard 20-tooth pulley. Okay, so that's a part I need to tweak. That's a part I need to tweak in order to get this to work properly. We will do that. I will do that in between streams. That zip chain stuff. Maybe I'll do zip chain for the Z axis. Do cables for X and Y and zip chain for Z. Okay, well, if we can't do that, then what is next that we can do while we find ways to use time for 45 minutes before we give away some Polymaker filament? Hey, Adam. Okay, what is next? We can continue putting this thing together. Figure out where I put the fans I'm going to use for this build. And the gull wing doors. Hey, Mr. Franco, hey, Polar Ted. There's our fans. Polar Ted, thank you for the gifted memberships. Okay, 4010 fans. Couple of GDS times here. Okay, what does that mean? Let's scroll up, back to the toolhead. Okay, what did we skip? So we've got the doors can go on. So let's get there we go. Ella, thanks for being a member for almost 3 years. Can't stay long, gotta go get lunch before the draw. Yeah, you do. Okay. Filament. Let's grab some black ABS. So this uses a filament hinge to go on either side here. Let's cut off a piece. Let's see how this does. That's a nice fit. Hey, Markle. Oh, yeah. There we go. Get some pliers to kind of push on that a little more, hopefully a little more controlled. There we go. Right through. Snip it on either end. Sweet. Dave Randolph has stepped down and printed solid CDO. What? Where's that news? Where's that news? It's up on his Twitter. I don't blame you. I still call it Twitter too. I'm reading it right. Oh, shoot. Come on. Here. Copy link. There you go. There's the... I wonder who is going to run the ship in the meantime. That's... I don't know what to think about that. That's a bummer. Brent, I don't like it, but we're not gonna get into a discussion on that here. It can get a little outside of the purpose of what we're here for. I don't think, I hope, I expect that it's not going to go anywhere, but that's the extent that we're going to talk about it. Okay. Leaving behind a great team will surely follow. And oh yeah, absolutely. The folks there at Printed Solid are fantastic, and Dave set a great foundation for them. Okay. So that's there. Those open up. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It's almost like Bruh. Bruh. Hey, Raven. Okay. Let's see. So 1 point filament fragments. And then we have a M3 by 25 from the back. 3 by 25. That'll be these guys. We have 25s in the original. Yes, we do. Grab a couple of original screws. Okay. I think I'll be able to put heaters and stuff in here after the fact. This isn't the same zero. No, so that was switch wire. So Max gave away switch wire 0 at Reno Vice. And then it was rebuilt and given away again at Portland Vice. This far predates Switchwire 0. There we go. A bit of resistance to rotating. It's the problem with groove mount is not a solid connection, but it'll be fine. That one lives at West 3D now. Yeah. And then another 16 to go in the front here. Might as well get these together. 3x16s in the front. Yeah, Dan is getting quite the collection of historic Voron printers. There's Phoenix Serial 1. And switch wire serial 0. If he buys enough tickets, there's a chance he might get Voron 2 serial 0. Oh yeah, that's nicely constrained. Okay, so then who has V00? Nimgria, Icarus. The designer. Hey, Cobra. Okay, then we have, what are these? M2x8 button heads for these fans. He stated as such he wants very bad. Okay, these have got some long wires on them. So this would go, just go like that. No. Where do these go? So this must be that side. This must be that side. And then how do these go? This must go like that. Yeah. And then from this side, we have 2. Right now it says 2 and 2x8 button heads. Have. Just step out to run some errands. Be right back. You have 37 minutes, Tuxedo. I'm going to get rid of the stress marks on these real quick. Okay, while I'm thinking about it, I also want to take some notes because I'm on a time crunch here and I can't spend as much time forgetting things. So I already have. So bed Wago mounts are done. I'm just checking it because it's not actually finished. Foot mounts I finished and installed. Taco Raven mount I printed and installed. Panel clips I still need to print. I need to redo the endstop. And I need to, what was anything else? Is there anything else I need to write down? As I remember things, I need to refer back to this so I can not be a little more efficient. It's a remarkable. They're way too expensive for what it is, but I bought it to try to be a little more organized in general, and it's really useful when I'm really focused on using it. So like for a trip, I'll make a list of things that I need to do for a trip, so I can mark them off. But what do I need to reprint? What part do I need to reprint? Oh, the Omron bracket. They are remarkable. You can mark and remark and remark. Okay, we got those cleaned up. And where are the 8mm? I'm gonna need to modify the Z switch housing. Yep. Need 3 of these for the AC wires. That away. Might have to redo that piece. But, okay. Live by an ever-evolving list. The idea behind getting that in the first place was If I could write things down, I didn't have to have as many things in my head. That's a good idea, but I haven't been able to follow through on it very well. Okay. Probably grab a note box. What is that? 1.5 millimeter. What's the 1.5? There we go. Yeah, they are not cheap. And the accessories for them also. Okay, so one way or another, this has to go like that. And then from the inside, we've got M3 by 8. Or M2 by 8. Holding these on. It only says to do 2 of these. There's 3 holes. I need to look at the rest, make sure it's not used somewhere else. Modern day Etch-a-Sketch, except you don't have to turn 2 knobs to create a circle. Oh yeah, that works really well. Those screws come in pretty flush. So we'll get those 2 on. It's gotta go that way. Yep, there we go. Should be 3 from memory. Yeah, there are 3 holes here. That one, 8 millimeters or 10? It is 8, okay. It looked a little long. You shake it to erase the note? No. I get one of those if I get the project manager role I'm after at work. That would be nice. Okay. So those 2. Yeah, see, that's where the other one comes in, I think, maybe? Nope, it does. It looks like it does use 3. It's just only showing 2 here. I don't see anywhere else. Yeah, looks like we can put all 3 in. So let's go ahead and do that before we get too far. There's a 3rd one right here. Stick with my piece of paper. So part of that is gadget. Just a gadget. Another gadget. And maybe the motivation of playing with a gadget gets you to use it type thing. Oh, okay. So those go on there, and then this goes on with more M2 by 8s. Looks like 4 of them. So get 4 of them out of here. Okay. So then that is this guy. This guy goes in there, but we're does this go? That wire is in the way. Okay, that's annoying. That's annoying. That wire's in the way. This has to go flush with that, which means there's no strain relief on that. This already has. I don't know if I did that. Not seen any pre-glued there, pre-strain relieved, but it is, which means I need to chip that out of there. Oh, I didn't do that. That's a red semi-soft. Look at that. That's a red semi-soft adhesive. I guess it came off okay. I don't like pulling this out of here. Because that's going to have no strain relief on it. Where does that go otherwise? Because that has to go there. There's no... I feel like there should be a notch in this part. In order to let that go through, and then am I something completely wrong on here? Oh no, that goes straight up. Okay, if that goes straight up right there, let me make a little mark. Too much stuff down here. Yeah, a file will do too. I'm gonna just kind of make a mark on where this comes out. Right there. Okay. Could I? Maybe that's a good call. Maybe I do a little carving. That goes in there. This needs to carve to there. We do a little carving. Yeah. I'm gonna do this down here. And then yeah, that might be almost enough. Just a little bit. You won't even be able to see that. Hey, John. Thanks for being a member. See if I can bend that over. Yeah, there we go. I'm able to push that in all the way. Good call. Good call. And then M3x8s that are really going to be tough to get to. M2x8s, I mean. Yeah, it does flex. Yep. Yep. Sweet. That worked. Then this will bend around and go straight up, apparently. Other side doesn't have the same problem, but it does have a, it's got to really flex in order to get that one on. Or we can grab our handy dandy LDO vise ball end 1.5 millimeter. Which already is not fantastic. So we'll just bend it. 1.5 millimeter ball ends are just not. That's beyond the size of being useful. So I'll get it started with that. I'll bend this. There we go. Look at that. That's pretty cool. That looks good. Okay. Then I need to put, so just 2 screws for the fan. Is that it? Just the 2 top ones. M3x25s. The 2.2 uses a whole lot more filament than the 2.1. Let me see if I have a proper size fan for this. I didn't realize that it uses an extra thick front fan. What size is that? Is that a 40-20? Let's see. A regular 40-10. Does a regular 40-10 work okay? No, 40-10 is a little thin. 40-15 would work well. I might have to place an order. Yeah, 40-15 would work really well. see what I have here. There's a 40-20. That looks like 20. That looks like a 40-20. That's what this is. This is a nice fan. This is a Sun-On 24 volt. It is a, I would bet some amount of money that this is the fan I bought for my 2.2. It's a 40-20, yeah. Yep, I bet you that's the fan I bought for my 2.2. That looks good. This does not, the setup here shows the screw heads recessing into the recesses into the fan. That is not to scale. That's a different design even. Oh, that's a different design. Screenshot don't match real parts. Where's Dunnar when you need him? Let me see. This needs to go in here. Wow. All kinds of fiddly to get this thing out together. Yeah, this will be interesting to get this all together with the fans in the right. So this whole thing is assuming that you're taking the fan wires out of their little built-in strain relief. Because that groove there is not accounting for this coming around from the back, which means I'll probably have to cut a little notch here to let that happen. I don't want to take the wires out of the fan's built-in strain relief. Okay, this has to come out. We have to put this guy on here. Okay, so that's right there. Our notch needs to be there. Okay. Chamfer there. And a little notch there for the fan wire. Okay. This is going to be fiddly. I wonder if it would be a benefit to just put a little dab of glue on that. Hold it in place because I know where it needs to go. Might minimize the fiddliness. Nope, not enough glue, I think. Yeah, just didn't stick. This needs to come around and up. So both of these do basically the same thing, just from different sides. Which means maybe we can put this up from the bottom. Oh no, I need a notch in this one too. I need a notch in that one too, but where? That goes there. Oh, we're already up at 12 minutes until, shoot. Oh, there. That 12 minutes until we're giving away some filament. Let's try right there. 12 minutes until we're giving away some filament. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Kenneth, did you ever get my other email? I resent to the new address you gave me. Will there be a finger glued on the hot end fan? No, of course not. I don't glue my fingers. What are you talking about? Okay, little wire notch there. So, if we get these kind of snap into place once I get it there. That one did. Well, this one. Why is that sitting so low? Do I have that wire? This needs to sit. Yeah, I think yeah, that needs to get cut a little wider. Let's try it again. Better. Is better. New friction. Will there be a finger guard on the hot end fan? As of right now, no. If I use this fan, it might be worth it to do a regular 4010 fan and a finger guard. What do you think? Max is not a fan of finger guards because why? Why are you not a fan, Max? Max doesn't like fan grills. Can anybody guess why Max doesn't like fan grills? Here, for right now, I'm gonna hold this on and together with a couple of button heads. So the second part there is the primary reason, Jared. The second part there is the primary reason. Yep, noise. Is there anything that holds these together? Doesn't like fingers. That's probably a secondary reason. Okay. Couple of screws just to hold it together. I think when that goes in, yeah, the fan will hold the rest of it together. Been trying to get rid of my fingers for years now. Okay, let's just leave that off for the moment. We have a couple of way too long fan wires. I wonder how long these need to be. Whoop. These can probably cut off. I'm just going to cut about here for now. Bye. What do we got? 5 minutes until we're giving away some filament. How are we doing on likes and people? And 242 people, but only 111 likes. So if this goes on here like this. Hey, Deanna. That goes there, and then this snaps on. Look at that. And then you push the button to open it up. That is, that's awesome. Boop. Boop. There are little features in here that snap on. You push the button to open it. Oh. Okay, now we're over 50% likes, but we can always use more. Look at that. That's looking like a tool head. Okay, Jared sent a link to a printables model. There we go. What is this? Oh, well, that's not going to be helpful. This is not 120 millimeters. That is pretty cool. Looks like the cable chain lines up well too there, Max. So thank you for that. Looks like it appears to line up with the center line of the extrusion, which is good. Yeah, that's awesome. We are getting there. We are getting there. Just put a fan in there and start wiring it up. And then there'll be a cram packed with connectors here. Okay. Let's do a giveaway and then we'll call it. This was a good member stream. Remember, this is a Charlie's Angels stream. This is normally other projects, not necessarily stuff that I would do on the main channel, or the main stream, the Sunday stream. The idea would be to I want to start another RC car build. I want to get prepped to start another RC car build, and that would be on this channel. So if you're not a member, and you're interested in becoming a member, there's that little join button. I do these once a month, sometimes more if I'm trying to get a project done. But today is an extra stream because I did not do one in December. So I promised to do 2 of these in January. I want to do the Impreza. Yeah, that's what I want to start on, but I need to get some printing going. And with the amount of things I've had to work on lately, we'll see. It might be a March thing. Oh, when I had to cheat it a bit on the toolhead end by 1 millimeter or so for clearance. Yeah. But this is good. That looks fantastic. Once I get a fan in there. Silvercar, thanks for becoming a member. Still need to start my Bugster. Yeah. Gaslight everyone else during tomorrow's stream about all this progress made last Sunday. This toolhead is certainly unique in the mix of all those 4010 toolheads out there now. Yeah, so this is a Bowden. We'll be, I'm hoping to finish this up. Maybe I'll find or make a fan grill for the front of here and use just a 10 millimeter fan. But we'll get this finished up and probably assemble the Mobius 3 extruder tomorrow and stuff. So let's give away some filament. Look at Panchroma PLA as your blue for the blue. I'm using High 5 blue from Protopasta for mine. I have 3 brand new rolls sitting and waiting. Hey Flex. Let's see, how are we doing? Wheel of names. Here we are. Filament giveaway time. And don't forget, the whole reason we're here is to get this printer ready to raffle off for Sanjay Mortimer Rep Festival. You can buy your raffle tickets. Link is in the description. So, let me see. Where's my die? There we go. We will roll this on the printer. There we go. So, starting this year, I roll this. The maximum number of times I will restart the countdown is the number that comes up on the Steve Builds die. I'm only restarting it once. So, but you got a couple more seconds because I'm not ready yet. I won't have any more room for printers in the home. So now you got to start thinking outside the home. Okay. Published. Okay, link is in the pin post in the description. I am starting the countdown now. I am only restarting it once. I restart it when we get a new entry. If we haven't had a new entry in 3 seconds, then it gets closed. So 3, 2, 1. It is a nice cube. This is the restart. 3, 2, 1. Done. One more person got in there. Hey, Jen. Link it out. Hey, Leo. Let's see. Aetherwing, you got in there first. Who got that last entry in? Met Engineer. Copy and paste. Oh. Let's see here. We are at Dojiggy site here. It's refreshing. We're at $4,152 earned, 35 days until the drawing. So we need a number between 1 and 35. 1 and 35. One and 35. China drum, you said 9. We're going to do 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and spin. Who do we got? Who do we got? Cloud Yak. Cloud Yak, congratulations. Are you here? Cloud Yak, you have 2 minutes to say something in chat. Timer has started. Cloud Yak, congrats. There you are. Good job. Nice to be prompt. Let's see here. Copy. Let's see. Everything looks good. Let me see here. The system is working again, and I was able to get the thing off to GTR Dad from Wednesday. There's that. Today is Saturday the 31st. And email and okay, Cloud Yak, you should have an email. If you don't get it in the next few minutes, feel free to send me a DM. Congrats. Is that a DOS command prompt? Where? What? Where? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. I'm tired, and I have a lot of between stream prep to do. So we are going to call it here. It is a Charlie's Angel stream. So these are usually, unless I got a big project going on, usually not quite as long as the normal streams. We will be back tomorrow. I'm hoping to use my list to really make a push to where this is down to the last few things that need to be done after tomorrow. So, but that's going to require a bit of prep today. I need to fix the thing. So with that, thank you everyone. Thanks for being members. Thanks for all the new members. Thanks to Polymaker for letting me give away a roll of filament. I don't normally give away filament on a Charlie's Angel stream, but because this was public, I did it. It's good to prompt. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day and enjoy the build. Bye.